I did not think this was ever going to come out of this truck. Got it. Set it. Whoa! All right, boys. It's finally that time. We're going to get this roll cage fully welded and integrated into the body. We're going to tie it into the seatbelt mounts, all that good stuff. We're finally going to get this thing done. I'm tired of waiting to get it and make room at my work to get it in there, to get it out of the wind so that I can weld it without blowing all my shielding gas away. So, against my better judgment, I got another carport, but it's spring now. We're not going to have any crazy winter storms, so it won't get torn apart like the last time I tried to do this. So for those of you that are new around here, this is Merle. Merle is my 1989 K5 Blazer that we've been building on this channel. And we got everything, man. We got custom winch tube bumper. We got 40s. We got high steer crossover. We got fancy shock mounts. We got 1-tons with air lockers. We got sliders. We got full stainless exhaust with an insanely complicated Z-pipe. We got 14 bolt in the back. There's the mufflator. We got full roll cage that's getting finished up today, although it will get more add-ons in the future. We got a perp wheel. We got a P&M gate shifter. Basically, we got the Blazer that I always wanted to build growing up. And we are just about to go wheeling. So, let's get into this welding. There's a lot of stuff to welding big giant projects like this that I want to touch on, but I'm not going to remember them all at once, so they're kind of going to get sprinkled throughout this video. So, step number one with this is you got to disconnect your power. You can't have, it doesn't matter on a carbureted car, but on a car with a computer, even though this is a 1989 computer, it's still a computer, they're sensitive to the electricity from welding. So you need to disconnect your batteries so that you don't risk frying your computer. And I have DOS batteries, and if you haven't seen it on the thing, there's a whole video setting this nice little panel up with an isolator so you can run dual batteries and not drain your other batteries, all that good stuff. There's a whole video on that. We're gonna get that disconnected. I got to pull out the rest of my interior, so the dash pad's coming back out, steering wheel's out, seats are out, so that I have clean access to everything. And then we're gonna bounce around and weld this whole cage, everything that I can reach with it being bolted in, locked in, exactly how it is. We're gonna get everything up under here that I can reach, everything in the back that I can reach, all of it, everything except where this front piece of the cage meets the back piece of the cage. Those are just gonna stay tacked together. So we'll get all this welded out, then we're gonna separate them, pull this back section out, flip it upside down, finish welding it in the garage. And once this is out, I gotta figure out some way to shimmy this up and down and back enough that I can get my TIG welder and get all my tops inside here. Then we'll paint this, get it back into place. We'll get this painted back into place except for here. Then we can burn the two halves of the cage together. Once that's done, I can make my plates just in case anything moves at all. Then I'll make my plates here because this section is going to get tied into my seatbelt mounts. And then we're also going to plate this with some dimple dies and tie my cage into the A-pillars. So we got a ton of work. I hope I can get it all done in time to get this video out. Otherwise, worst case scenario, we're gonna get really far on this. I'll pick my driveline up this week. Next weekend, we'll finish whatever little bit needs finishing. Get the driveline in, get the dash all buttoned up back together, get this thing ready to go, ready final checked, hopefully go take it for a short drive. I've got a little spot I can go wheeling that's pretty close to my house. It's pretty mild, but I can still kick it in four-wheel drive and roll around. And then the week after that, there's a local OHV park for me. It's called Prairie City. They've got some decent cool stuff there. I can definitely go test it out, and it's, you know, it's like 20 minutes down the road. It's not a big deal. So following that, we'll load this thing up, we'll drive down there, we'll test out 4-wheel drive. If something breaks, I'm going to cry on camera because I feel like I've overbuilt this thing enough that it should be able to handle a little OHV park without breaking, you know what I'm saying? Alright, well, time to start welding. So, we're going to start off with a couple tips. Number 1, put a nice fresh screen on your mask, or on your head. You can't weld what you can't see. We're already going to be getting into some compromised positions, if you will. So, being able to see is very, very important. Number 2, I know that I am, and you probably would too, go through quite a bit of tungsten, man. It's about to be dip city, I'll bet, because you're going to be in weird positions. You're going to not be able to see all that good for a lot of this. You're going to have to be rolling around on joints, right? Like you're welding this. You're not just nice, comfortable buzzing down. You're going to be twisted all sideways, getting into a corner, rolling around. Dipping's going to happen, and it's probably going to happen a lot, and I don't want to get in and out and in and out and in and out, because this is like a big kid jungle gym, dude. It is not the most easy thing for me to crawl my 6'4" butt in and out of this thing. So I sharpened what was left in my pack. This is the tungsten I'll be using. It's the CK laser. I'm a pretty big fan of this stuff, but my TIG welder's an inverter machine, so realistically it doesn't really care what tungsten I use. This is just what I use, and I'm happy with it. So that way when I dip, I can just swap to a fresh tungsten, keep going, and then once I've dipped all of these, then I can sharpen them as a batch. So it's going to save me getting in and out over and over and over again. Other than that, like I said, we're just going to be bouncing around. I don't want to heat soak one area. The whole idea here, like we've got it mounted down, is to minimize anything moving. Luckily, you know, everything's triangulated and cross braced, and it shouldn't move anywhere, but I still don't want to like put a ton of heat right here all at once. I want to do a bit, move over to here, do a bit, move over there, do a bit, and I'm just kind of going to bounce around over and over and over again like some sort of weird tweaker until it's all welded everything I can get to. Then we'll split it. That way I'm not heat soaking an area. I'm not putting a ton of heat in there, because then that's the heat soak into the tubes. It can create kind of brittle, weak spots in the tube if you put too much heat all at once into one little area. So we're going to try to minimize all that. The whole purpose of a roll cage is safety, right? Safety and structure, stability, all of that. So we're going to do everything we can to maximize that, all right? All right, here we go. I'm not gonna lie. I may have underestimated how long this is gonna take to TIG weld. Doesn't mean I'm changing my plan. I said I'm going to TIG weld it. I'm going to TIG weld it. I want the skill gain that comes from TIG welding it. I've never TIG welded a roll cage before. I've always done MIG welded roll cages in the past. So, yeah. This is just a lot more time consuming than I thought it would be. I mean, I knew it was going to take some time, but damn. It's turning out nice though. I'm stoked with that. If you decide that you're going to TIG weld your roll cage, set aside a lot more time than you think it's going to take, because you're going to need it. That is exactly why I said in like my TIG video, and I bring it up all the time, practice left-handed, because you don't know when it's going to help you out in a pinch. Alright, well, here is where we are at. I got most of these joints most of the way welded, right? All the way through. So what we're going to do, it is time to split this cage. So I'm going to come in here and make a crossbar across the feet on the bottom, maybe like right about here, and just tack that in, tack it in on that side to lock these legs together, because like, right, this is all way tied together up there, but down here there's not any like side to side tying it together while I go in. It's just, I know it's probably not going to go anywhere, but I'm paranoid, so a little bit of extra prep never hurt anyone, right? So we're going to tie this together here. Then on the inside, I'm going to do a bar to hold these together. And then from the center spine to the other A-pillar bar. That way, as I fill out these on the tops, these can't go anywhere. So that in theory, everything should stay square. So I can get those. Finish welding, get the rear out of here, finish welding it. The front, I'm actually kind of curious. I think, because these stubs are so short down here, I might be able to roll this cage all the way out of the truck, which would be freaking phenomenal. I think I might have to open up my hole in the dash on that side a tiny bit more. I'll cross that bridge if I get there. So, brace, yoink, hopefully yoink. Weld, and then I got some other stuff I want to finish in here while the cage is out. So, as always, you know, there's some stuff I done forgot about. So, like I said, we're going to get as far as we can. We're still on track to have it back together and get the dash all back together and stuff in the following video. And then, as long as all that goes good, we're going to be testing out at the OHV park after that. So, I'm going to set this camera up. We'll get these braces in. We'll get all this stuff out of here, hopefully. And then I think I'm going to switch gears, get all this body stuff done, because this, once it's all in there, I can weld this all in the garage after work. Kick my cooler on so it's not so stinking hot. So, I'm going to get to it. Trucking right along, boys. That's heavy. Each going? I did not think this was ever going to come out of this truck. Set it. Turn on some other lights. I did not think I would ever see this thing outside of the truck. You know what's crazy is how sad Merle looks now. He just looks like a regular Blazer.
Lost all of his bolts.
Well, I definitely didn't plan on ending this video sitting inside my entire roll cage in my garage. But here we are, which I'm actually pretty stoked about. We got a bunch of the welding done. We got the whole thing out of my truck. Somehow I did not think this front section was going to come all the way out, but it did, which is fantastic because that gives me the opportunity to go through and like super organize and clean up all the factory wiring under the dash. If you've been under your dash, the factory stuff's probably a bit of a mess like it is on mine. Mine's not all cut and hacked into it all. I only added a couple little circuits and I did them pretty clean. But we got access to that I never thought that I would have. So we're going to take the time, we're going to go through, we're going to get it super cleaned up, super organized, and then get this all welded out in the comfort of my garage where I can get to all my angles real easily. That's going to be fantastic. And then pushing us back by maybe like a week because it's probably going to take a weekend to get that wiring all cleaned up the way that I want. We'll get this welded out during the week, get all this back in there, and then we're right back on track. We'll be wheeling before you know it, which is great because this has taken forever. But every time I hit a delay on this and end up having to rethink and reattack how I'm going to do it, honestly, it just keeps coming out better than I initially planned. So I'm actually super grateful that it's taken this long because it's given me the opportunity and the time to like reevaluate my plans and come up with better ideas when I hit roadblocks. And really, if Merle had gone according to my original plan, it wouldn't be half as cool as he's turning out to be. So we're almost there. Stick around next week. More Merle. We're just going to be Merle, Merle, Merle. I'm not going to do anything else until this truck's driving. So we're almost there. And remember, if you don't get started getting way over your head and figuring yourself out of it, you'll never get finished.